Hi and welcome back. So we're going to continue building rocks. I'm sorry I had to split it, but it was getting too long, and just want to make sure that you get to see all the elements that I'm using to build these rocks. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, start with the box. Let's do an elongated one. Let's do a longer sort of rock. There we go. And now let's... we got the segments. Just turn on edges so we can see. Is that enough? Yeah. So yeah, that's not snap. So the first thing we do is go to modify, spherify it, like so. Could probably do with a few more. Let's just undo that and go add a few more on the length. Couple more on the length. There we go. Just to sort of see square quads there, sort of slightly elongated on these sides. So spherify. It's a bit better. Yep. And then FFD box, like so. And we're gonna have a few more points than that. This time we are going to have 6. Just make all of these 6. Click OK. There we go. That's a nice looking boxy sphere. You can just retain the sort of quads on that side and that side. That's nice. Click on control points like so. And now we can start shaping our rock. You know, we can use the scale tool. You don't have to stick to the move. We can give it a good wide shape at the base to start with if we want to. You know, we can scale the whole lot if we really want to. And now we start. Go back to here. Start pulling it around. Select a chunk. You can even rotate them. Twist it around. Rotate the next one. Twist them around. Rotate the next slot. You know, don't be afraid to push it about just to see what you can get out of it. Just experiment, basically. You can make a little cave entrance. Well, I don't like that in this rock, but you know, you can shape all sorts of objects from this. It's amazing, really. It's a very cool tool. Max is really powerful. It's more, you know, I constantly find new features to use in it all the time. It's kind of this never-ending, surprising package, which is very cool. I keep meaning to go over to Maya and have a look at that, but you know, this just keeps me here. It's good enough for what I need it for. It does all this and more. So I don't need to go to Maya really. I like the look of that shape there. I'm going to sort of start pushing that in a bit. got this sort of double sort of vibe going on here, which is quite cool. Yeah, I like that. And we can make that into more of a feature with using freeform. You can see there's a lot of edges gathered up there, which we can sort of work on. And like I said, don't worry about the size of the quads, because our UV tools will we'll sort this out. It'll space out the UVs quite evenly, even no matter what size the quads are. So as you'll see when we get to that. Okay, I think that will do for quite a nice rocky sort of shape. So we just collapse that, collapse all. Yep. It's an editable mesh. If you notice that, it does that when you collapse it from FFD. So we just want to convert that to, to use our freeform tools, we need to make it into a editable poly, and you see they become active as soon as you do that. We've covered editable mesh, so we know what that is. Okay, I want to just add some noise now. So go to our modifier list, go to noise, like so, turn on fractal, take down the scale a little bit, well, 3/4, and then just start playing with this. See what you get. Just take this down a bit more. Let's just start playing with this. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Of course, you could just model rocks using, but it would take you a lot longer. I'm taking my time here because I want to show you how I'm doing it, but you should be able to knock some of these out in 3-4 minutes per rock. Half an hour you could have half a dozen rocks. You don't need to buy them off a store, perfectly. And once you realize how we can lay out the UVs and we texture them quite quickly and easily, you'll never buy another rock again. So it's quite cool. That's quite interesting shape. Yeah, it's just a case of playing with these sliders, really. But just don't go too far with it. There we go, that'll do it. That's all. That looks like a cool rock. Potentially. Not topology is quite nice. It's a bit tight here for my liking. I'm not quite sure. I like the jaggedness of that though, so I might just leave it. I'm going to leave that. See what we come up with when we. Yeah, it looks quite cool. It looks could be a rock easily. Rocks can do that. Okay, that's one big rock. We can sort of scale that down a bit, so it's a bit more in line. There we go, 2 rocks. Let's change the colour. Let's turn off the edges. Okay, we need to smooth our groups here, smooth our faces. Auto smooth. There we go. Yeah, that's a good rock. So funny shape there. That's the ambient occlusion doing that. I could turn that off just to check. It's funny. Wasn't that? Let's turn edges back on. Okay, there's it's still a quartz. It's just the way it's lying. Yeah, it's just where the light was catching that. Strange. Okay, that's fine now. That's it. Rock. Another rock. So there we go, 2 rocks. Okay, so if I just take these two, I'll show you what I want you to do, although not exactly this. So I want you to create a couple of rocks. That size, perhaps, or even smaller. And I want you to create rocks even smaller still, so quite small, so we can do like little clusters of rocks. And I would even go as far as saying, yeah, we want some even smaller ones than that. But you know, you might want to just model these odd shapes, yeah, some sort of cluster, sort of tiny rocks we can sort of throw on the ground and sort of in little clusters and hide these sort of sharp edges, and it adds, you know, they're very small but they add quite a nice detail. And I would say create some bigger ones than this, so like this, next size up. Yeah, see, already it looks pretty cool. And then I would say do one, in fact, let's have a look. We want a big one. We want some big rocks. That sort of size. These sort of rocks we're going to use for our borders. And if you gather a lot of these together, like if you copy that and then you sort of rotate it around like so, you know, you can form some quite convincing sort of rock barriers. And you get some of these and you push that into the base of them. Oops. And as long as you get good lighting, get some ambient occlusion in the engine working, turn off these edges because it's really obvious. Once the lighting's all rigged and working, you know, the rocks that can't take this sort of, even though that's the same rock, it doesn't, you wouldn't know it just by looking at it there. And this is pushed into it, you know, that's fine. You know, if we drop down a plane there, which could be our ground if you like. You know, we can make that ground. Let's just make it a nice brown. So you can see, all nicely textured. We can make some pretty interesting rock shapes. And once it's lit correctly, you know, and even if, you know, you wanted to make some, you can even push some of these together and make a set piece, which you can then export and use as a set piece on its own, and that's fine too. So there you go. So these are the rocks that I want you to create. You know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, one big one per house. So let's have 1, 2, 3, you know, 10 rocks minimum different sizes, scaling down to the tiniest stony rocks, and these don't need to be the same kind of resolution in terms of polygons, because that's kind of a waste. If you pull back, it just gets drenched with edges, you can't see it. Anyway, these don't need to be so high poly, so when you start doing these, make sure you use less polygons, because we don't want to waste polys on tiny little stones that are on the ground. But we do want a few of them, different sort of shapes and sizes, you know, just like so we can make like little clusters and individual stones around places. Just breaks up the detail of the floor, being so repetitive, so they're quite useful. Okay, so there's your task, there's your challenge, and I'll see you back here. I'll do the same, I'll do my own rocks, you do yours, and we'll compare notes. Good luck. See you in the next lecture.